A squared, what A squared is today.
I like to call I like to call that period of the transition from CBL to A2. And then like obviously all the other shit that went into that.
Right.
I like to call that the flag football wars.
That's a good name for it. Because it was, I mean, it was some from December 2016. I'm gonna even say it was like one of them wars that just keep going. It
you know
went
what?
probably to 2017.
You know what? Let's talk about that. That's a tidbit that I want to get into, but I don't know how much you're really able to like really talk about.
I'm free to talk about anything.
I will talk your shit then. The flag football wars, the Chicago flag football wars, bruh. Like recap this, like recap that because CBL out of nowhere dissolves. Everybody is like, what the fuck?
It was out of nowhere. It wasn't out of nowhere to us internally because we had kind of been back and forth struggling with where we were going to go with it, and some comments have been made about just kind of dissolving. You know, life happens for people. People have kids. You know, life happens. It was people were going separate ways. It wasn't, contrary to popular belief, there's not a lot of money involved in flag football. So there wasn't like you splitting a pot with 6 people. There really isn't a lot of money when you're splitting a pot with 6 people. So it kind of was a combination of those, you know, people making their own money doing other stuff. You don't really need to be splitting 6 ways. So that transition was, in my opinion, some people say it was ugly. Some people say it wasn't. Whatever, call it what it is. It is what it is. It's A squared today. But
I wouldn't say it was ugly. I would say rough because like I would definitely say rough because like for us being the customers, and not really just the customers, but like the community, right? Mm-hmm. We all was kind of like, what's next? You know what I mean? Because we had grown, like flag football was kind of like a part of everybody's lives at this point. Now, people can say whatever they want, right? People can say, well, you know, this shit is flag football. It ain't real life. You know how it go, right? Yep, when people say that shit. But let's be real. Like every Sunday for 8 months,
20 weeks out of the year.
20 weeks out of the year, everybody was like, yo, like, it's lit. We finna get around our favorite brothers, sisters, and cousins. You know what I mean? We're going to play some flag football. Win or lose, we're going to build that community. We're going to be with that community for 20 weeks out of the year. So, like, what the fuck, right? So, CBL dissolves. Well, go ahead. You was about to say something.
Yep. So, no, CBL dissolves. A squared. And almost, I was going through some personal shit. So, it was some personal shit going on. It was a lot of stuff going on at that time. So, A squared name didn't even come out for a few more months because of some personal shit that was going on. So CBL ended. I announced that I was having a league, but there was no name. It was just, hey, we're having a football league. Mm-hmm. People can believe what they want to believe. Then that's when the war started. Then, you know, Bobby had a league and Jay Knight had a league.
Talk about it.
Tracy had a league. Can't forget about and I really
talk about it.
I can't remember his name. I'm forgetting it, but NU Sports had a league too. So it was all these leagues.
NU Sports though was more so like it was more so trying to do like the women's thing though, right?
They were, but then they tried to, once CBL dissolved, they tried to stick their foot in the co-ed league too. Right. They weren't around long in there, but they put their foot in the water.
So we got Joey, we got Bobby and Jay Knight, we got Tracy. And then we got NU Sports, the flag. we got 4 leagues
battling
to get in with 4 individuals. Say it again.
Battling for the same people.
Battling for the same community, for the same people. It's like history repeating itself, right? With the ITZ and the CBL joint.
I wouldn't even say it because
it's feel not like the same.
It wasn't the same because that one was more. ITZ didn't dissolve. ITZ didn't disappear. They still existed.
Okay.
CBL disappeared off the face of the earth. Okay. So essentially. So that's how I kind of, in my eyes, that's why I say it was different. It was the same because we were competing for the same teams.
So you have this, and this is, like I said, this is flat. Like, listen, bro, if you in Chicago and you in the flat football community, bro, this is history. Like, for real. Like, this is real ass history.
Wait till the documentary come out in about 10 more years, because this is definitely gonna be
this is real ass history. So you got ITZ. I'm sorry. You got all these four entities battling for the same people. What happens next, right?
So as they battling, Tracy had her league. I had my. So let me back up a little bit. So NU Sports and Bobby and Jay Knight League, they were battling, they were competing. At some point earlier in the process, they kind of fell out. So they were part of the football wars, but they kind of kicked it off. And then once the battle started, the battle was really between IAC and A2. It was right. IAC had a lead, A2 had a lead.
You guys went head to head for about a year, right?
2 years, two full years. It was four full seasons where they had a league and A2 had a league. So it was a nasty battle. I mean, it separated the flag world. I'm not gonna lie. I think if we eliminate, as the Chicago flag football world, if we eliminate that football war for those 2 years, I can almost guarantee you we would have 50 teams right now. Probably 2 locations and 50 teams. No questions asked. But the energy that was put into maintaining A squared and maintaining the league had to be we had to focus on making sure the teams within the league were happy before we went out and got other ones.
Now, this is an ugly part of what the title of this show is when we talk about entrepreneurship in sports, right? And I'm gonna back up as this conversation progresses, but we in a bag right now when we're talking about the flag football wars. You know how everybody pushes entrepreneurialism, right? And right. Just the positivity, the freedom of it, right? But it's something that people don't talk about, right? They talk about the dark side of it. They don't talk about the dark. Like, and when we talk about entrepreneur, what's the dark side? The competition factor, right? So